Hello and good evening. Here is the Lagos State news. Pardon that. Here is the news at 6. First, the highlights. Governor Sanwo-Olu unveils Lagos State access to finance for small, medium enterprises through cooperatives. House of Representatives urges federal government to provide free cancer screening, subsidized treatment for patients. On the quarantine, at least 20 Palestinians die in 2 Israeli strikes in Gaza Market restaurant. And in sport, 549 athletes to battle over 2,000 medals in 2025 National Sports Festival. And now the details. I am Akan Usen. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has launched the Lagos State Access to Finance for SMEs through cooperatives, LASMECO, with a promise to continue to provide more leverage and ease of business for small and medium-scale businesses. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who launched the initiative at Alausa Ikeja, said the idea was a promise fulfilled from his electioneering campaigns. He said the tripartite initiative was designed to break barrier of access to funding of up to 10 million naira, with repayment plans spread over 2 to 3 years at 9% interest rate. Governor Sanwo-Olu advised beneficiaries to use the money for their businesses so they can grow and repay on schedule to access more funds. Commissioner for Commerce, Cooperatives, Trade and Investment Folashade Ambrose Medibem said the initiative is a revolutionary financing scheme for medium and small scale enterprises, MSMEs, to provide a single-digit non-collateralized loan. Ambrose Medibem said the loan will be given to businesses under cooperatives and unlock the next generation of entrepreneurs in the state. In his remarks, the managing director of the Bank of Industry, Olashobo Olusi, said the bank partnered Lagos State on the initiative to ensure access to finance for MSMEs to tackle poverty and guarantee economic growth in communities. Our correspondent Diola Kinele reports that the highlight of the event was a signing of the Memorandum of Understanding on the initiative between the Lagos State government, the Bank of Industry, and a financial institution. A total of 85 rights of way have been delivered for different projects by the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development under the Babajide Sanwo-Olu administration from 2019 till date. Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development Oluyinka Olumide stated this at the ongoing ministerial press briefing at Alausa Ikeja. Olumide also hinted that the Model City Master Plans, Action Area, Development Guide Plans and Operational Guidelines in Lagos, Ibejuleki, Alimosho, Badagry, Koshofe and Ikorodu areas of the state are at different stages of completion, while plans were also initiated for other areas not yet captured. The Commissioner noted that to address the emerging challenges and enhance governance in the Lagos State built environment, the Office of Physical Planning embarked on new initiatives for better service delivery like the Lagos Physical Planning Summit, Interagency Collaboration, 180 Days Amnesty Program. Olumide said in the first, second and third phases of the amnesty program, a total of 18,489 applications were received, while 11,856 approvals were granted, with 601 outlets opened across the local government and local council development areas of the state.
Without a doubt, the administration led by our dear Governor, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, is waxing stronger in its commitment to the built environment of Lagos State, as indicated in the laudable achievements and initiatives recorded in the sector in the past 6 years. However, we can achieve more with more collaborations in bringing valuable information, education, and enlightenment to our people.
Olumide, who faulted construction of illegal estates along the Ibejuleki, Ekpe, and Ikorodu corridor, said enforcement for strict compliance for estates will soon commence and defaulters will not go scot-free. Our correspondent Adiola Akinele reports that in the year under review, the Physical Planning and Building Control Appeals Committee received 95 petitions against government agencies, individuals, and public officials, conducted hearings on all petitions, and delivered decisions on 35 of the petitions, while 32 were struck out due to petitioners' absence, while 28 were ongoing. Lagos State Government has affirmed that the 2025 public service examinations will hold as scheduled for all duly registered cadres across its ministries, departments, and agencies, MDAs. Director of the Lagos State Examinations Board, Orunsolu Adebayo, in a statement, said the examinations are slated to take place from Tuesday, May 13 to Monday, May 19 at the Public Service Staff Development Center, PSSDC, Magodo, Lagos. Orunsolu urged all candidates to log into the Examinations Board portal at www.examsboard.lagostate.gov.ng using the username and password provided during registration to print their examination slips. He emphasized the importance of printing a clear copy of the sitting arrangement in advance. According to the director, candidates are required to report to the examination center with a valid means of identification, which may include staff ID, National Identification Number (NIN), and Lagos State Residence Registration Agency (LASRA) card, among others. A printed copy of the exam slip must also be presented at the examination hall. Minister of Education Tunji Alausa says 24 federal institutions have been powered by solar energy under the Energizing Education project of President Bola Tinubu's administration. Alausa stated this in Abuja at the collaboration agreement signing ceremony with the vice chancellors of beneficiary institutions, noting that 8 more universities have signed collaboration agreements to join the 4th phase of the project. Before the signing ceremony, the minister undertook an inspection tour of the solar-powered facility at the University of Abuja, now Yakubu Gowon University. Alausa, who described the project as a new day for Nigeria, hailed the transformative initiative under Tinubu aimed at providing uninterrupted power supply to Nigeria's federal tertiary institutions. He said the projects had wide-reaching benefits for education and the country. According to him, University of Abuja would now boast a solar farm comprising 6,000 photovoltaic panels, is generating approximately 3.3 megawatts of electricity daily. And now to the rest of the stories. The House of Representatives has called on the federal government to provide free screening and subsidized treatment for patients suffering from all stages of cancer in the country. The decision of the House was sequel to the consideration and adoption of a motion on notice during Wednesday's plenary, sponsored by a member representing Ibarapa Central, Edo Federal Constituency, Oyo State, Aderemi Oseni. Speaking on the substance of the motion, the All Progressive Congress lawmaker described cancer as a major public health challenge in Nigeria, with many patients unable to afford treatment due to the high cost. In its resolution at the plenary, presided over by Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, the House mandated its Committee on Healthcare Services to collaborate with the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare and other relevant agencies to establish a mechanism for the federal government to provide subsidies for cancer treatment and related drugs to ameliorate the suffering of patients. It also called on the federal government to establish more cancer treatment centers, as well as the procurement of more radiotherapy machines. Others included the advocacy for free and early screening for cancer patients. The The Senate has commenced a clause-by-clause consideration of 4 key tax reform bills submitted by the chairman of the Senate Committee on Finance, Sani Musa. Musa, while presenting the report, outlined the major recommendations of the committee, while the chairman of the Special Committee on Tax Reform, Yahya Abdullahi, also addressed the chamber. Following their submissions, the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, signaled the upper chamber's readiness to proceed with the legislative process. And now to foreign news. At least 20 Palestinians have been killed in 2 Israeli strikes on a crowded restaurant and market on the same street in Gaza City. The Israeli military said it was looking into the report. Earlier, local hospitals said at least 59 people had been killed in attacks since Tuesday night, most of them at 2 schools serving as shelters for displaced families. According to the Hamas-run Civil Defense Agency, women and children were among 33 people who were killed when the UN-run Abu Humeisa school in Burej refugee camp in central Gaza was bombed twice on Tuesday. And now sports athletes from across the country will compete for a total of 2,150 medals in 549 events at the 22nd edition of the National Sports Festival tagged Gateway Games Ogun 2024. The event is scheduled to be held in Ogun State from May 16 to 30, with over 15,000 athletes expected to compete in both individual and team sports. The festival will feature a diverse range of sports, with weightlifting, kung fu, while para-athletics will feature 50 events. There is also athletics and swimming, kickboxing, para-table tennis, wrestling, taekwondo and boxing, among others. The major new feature of the festival is the introduction of the Invited Junior Athletes category, which will allow junior athletes to compete alongside more experienced athletes, offering them an opportunity to exhibit their talent on a national stage. And that's all for the news at 6. Maintain adequate distance from the vehicle ahead of you to avoid collision. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms on X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961, on YouTube. Subscribe and watch us live on our channel Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website on www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that under the Sanwo-Olu administration, 18,000 teachers were trained on the Eco Excel? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has launched the Lagos State Access to Finance for SMEs through cooperatives, LASMECO, with a promise to continue to provide more leverage and ease of business for small and medium-scale businesses. The House of Representatives has called on the federal government to provide free screening and subsidized treatment for patients suffering from all stages of cancer in the country. We also told you that at least 20 Palestinians have been killed in 2 Israeli strikes on a crowded restaurant and market on the same street in Gaza City. And in sports, athletes from across the country will compete for a total of 2,150 medals in 549 events at the 22nd edition of the National Sports Festival tagged Gateway Games Ogun 2024. For contact with the newsroom, please send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. And that ends the news broadcast compiled by Adirayo Idowolaya. I am Akan Usen. Thanks for listening and please stay safe. Good evening.
Timeliness begins with the letter T.